What's up, everybody? Mr. Dude here, and welcome to the first of several scenery tutorials that we're going to do. Today we're going to be talking about Ortho 4XP. I had some people, some subscribers, request that I record how to do this, and as a recent FSX convert, I didn't really have a clue on how to do this, but it's not hard. So I'm going to show you guys basically what I did to get up in the air using some photoreal scenery. First things first, this video is not going to teach all the intricacies about Ortho 4XP, but what it is going to do is it's going to basically allow for you to get up in the air rather quickly and play, which is what we all want to do. Okay, so that's what this is about here today in this video. So first things first, you're going to be obviously Ortho 4XP. The link to this page is going to be in the description of this video down below. This was kind of a hard link to come by. It is in the forums, but it's kind of like hit or miss, and so it's kind of hard to But this link here is going to get you the latest release of Ortho 4XP. So anyways, you're going to do that. You're going to hit download. Okay, you could either download, save it to your Dropbox, or direct download, and then you're going to get a zip file like this. Okay, and now this is so you'll get a zip file, and you need to go through and unzip it, find the location that works for you, and unzip it. Okay, so now, all right, so you got your Ortho 4XP, right? You open your folder and you say, okay, here's my Ortho 4XP, and you're good to go on that. The other thing you need to do is you need to go through and download Python. Okay, so I did the Python 3.5.2. There is a 3.6, but I just clicked on the 3.5.2 and saw that it was released in June, blah 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 blah, and there's all the notes and stuff like that. And then I just clicked on whatever. And the reason I did that is because I just wasn't sure about the 3.6 one RC1. I just wasn't sure. So I just, rather than just get heartburn with all this, I did this, and it was fine by me. It worked out for me. All right. Anyway, okay. So I will have the link to Python in the video down below as well. So both of these links are going to be down there. Once you do those two things, then you can go into your install of your Ortho 4XP, okay, and you need to go into bin. Okay, I say again, go into bin. Open up your bin folder, scroll down, and you're gonna see Ortho 4XP and your version number. Open that up. You see the little black box that popped up? That's kind of like a command prompt that allows this program to happen. Okay, so what's cool about this program is you can get into the nitty-gritty and go through the steps. Build the vector data, build the base mesh, build the masks, build the tile, or you can do what they call batch build. Okay, and that's what we're going to do today. We're going to batch build. We're not going to mess around with trying to do this singularly. Okay, so first things first, you need to build overlays if you want to see roads, buildings, cars, things like that. Like you'll see the ortho photo of the road, but if you want the overlays that go on top that kind of bring some realism to your world, you need to download this. You need to build overlays with your scenery. So click on custom overlays, okay, and we're going to go back and explain. If you have some custom meshes that are in your custom scenery folder, you can go there and use that. I don't have any custom meshes or things like that as of yet. We will get to that point soon. So this is simply, like I said, we're just trying to get in the air. So open your X-Plane 11 folder, global scenery, X-Plane 11 global scenery, and right here, your one folder above your EarthNav data. Do not open this. Go back up here. EarthNav data should be closed in the window there, and the folder should be X-Plane 11 global scenery. All right. Same thing if you have custom scenery that's going to have that EarthNav data in there. Same rules apply. Hit select folder. That's where it's going to pull the information to build your overlay. Okay, because you're going to build an overlay every time you build some scenery, and I'm gonna show you guys how that works. Okay. Next thing is your zoom level. You know, I always just hit OSM because that's what they use, and then 17 is basically what I found to be the best balance between performance and appearance. You know, 18, I made the mistake of doing zoom level 18 one time, and I'm going to tell you, it exponentially made the file larger. And I'm going to show you the size difference between zoom 17 and zoom 18, because it'll make you think. But zoom level 17 is going to be good enough, especially to start with. It's going to be good to go. You can go into custom zoom level and hit preview, and that's not going to work for me at all. Let's see here. Okay, so it said, oh, this is the tile that it is that we're at. So if you want like some zoom level things here, hit shift and click, 1, 2. Okay, there's a triangle, and then you're like, all right, and then I want that to be zoom level 18, and then I want this, or I want this. Ooh, sorry. You can expand the area a little bit, or you can kind of change your custom zoom levels. Okay, I want it zoom 17. You know, you can kind of do some stuff here. I care less about that. I don't really care. Anyway, that's for a future video. We are gonna go ahead and make sure you're on zoom level 17. Make sure you've selected your overlay, and that's pretty much what you need to be doing for this right now. You can select upon, you know, if you're doing this overnight, maybe you want the computer to shut down or the program to exit. So hit the Earth tile map. All right, so Earth tile map, and this gives you a map of the world. Okay, you can kind of go, you know, go overseas, do this way. Okay, so you're like, all right, I want to. Okay, so for example, you double click here, and you can get that, and you're like, oh, I gotta get the rest of the island, so I gotta do that. Okay, so you double click anywhere where you want the area to, you know, be built. Okay, now if you're looking for example, if you're looking to build a chunk of scenery, just hit shift and click around the chunks of scenery that you want to build, and that'll basically select chunks of scenery that you want to build, and then simply just shift and click and takes them away. Okay, so that's how you do that. Okay, also too, the other thing you can do is you can go through and unclick the things or click them, whatever you do. So those three, I had built Puerto Rico out, except for that southern coast, and I was like, well, I'm not gonna build 3 tiles of water just to get, you know. So the southern beach there is probably it's just gonna be auto gen. Don't really care. All right, so now the other thing is you want to make sure that you hit build masks and build overlays. Build masks and build overlays, and then, you know, once you have something selected, you know, so you're like, all right, I want that. Okay, I want to build this tile or that tile. Ooh, okay, like this. So you say you do that. You click on batch build. It's going to start building your scenery. Okay, so for example, let's just unclick that because I have no idea what all I've got clicked. So say I want to build out Miami at zoom level 17. Okay, hit batch build and then hit exit. And what's going to happen is it says, okay, we're going to download airport and water ground boundaries from OpenStreetMap, OSM data for airway, aerodrome, and all of a sudden it's going to start going through and starting to get the information about the scenery, and it's going to start building the mesh. And so it'll kind of go through all the steps. you know, apparently I had a second tile built or building. All right, that sucks. Anyways, so you see on the left side of the screen there, it's starting to kind of go through and build the tile. That's fine. So zoom level 17, and I'm going to show you the difference here. Okay, so it's going through and building the scenery, and then I'm going to show you here in Ortho 4XP what you need to do. Okay, so here are where your overlays are going to start to populate. Okay, these overlays need to go into your overlay folder in X-Plane 11. So I'm going to bring X-Plane 11 over here. So when you look at your custom scenery, in your custom scenery folder, you're going to see this folder here. So you know, depending on what you got going on, you can take this whole folder and bring it over. Or if you're like me, I do stuff in my C drive and tend to delete it. I just go the first time you build overlays, just take this folder, move it over to your X-Plane folder, and it should be sitting in there like so. Okay, and that's where you're going to get your Earth nav data into for your overlays. Okay, so your Earth nav data and then all that. Okay. And then as you build regions, you could just kind of move these things over. So 1070, 20, 30, 20, negative 100, 30, negative 100. You just like plop them all over there, and then they'll be good to go. Okay. But you need those overlays. The other thing you need, okay, is this. You need the actual scenery. Okay. So Ortho 4XP tiles. This is where your scenery actually is. Ortho 4XP tiles is where your scenery actually is. And so now you're going to see as your scenery gets built, it'll create a new folder and start going through and building the scenery. Okay? So that's kind of how that works. Okay? So, now that we have the overlays and the scenery in X-Plane, okay, I want to show you something real quick regarding these zoom levels, okay? So all these here, these three over here, 18, 66, 67, 68, those are the ones that I built that were part of Puerto Rico. I'm going to open the properties. See, that's 1.39 gigs. This one here is properties, you know, 3.25 gigs. Not terrible. Not terrible. Now, I'm going to show you, okay, these other two are in the Houston area. I built these at zoom, like 58.4 gigs for 29096, and I want to say that this one was about 25 gigs. Yeah, 26.4 gigs, okay? That was zoom level 18, so you can see the exponential difference between zoom level 17 and zoom level 18. Last but not least, all right, I want to explain how you need to layer your scenery in order for it to populate, okay? This is your scenery kind of INI file, okay? So, you need to make sure that, and I'm going to go ahead and do this now. I'm going to copy this, okay? And I'm going to say, all right, we're going to place the priority on this over here, okay? So you want to make sure that your, and I'm going to delete this down here. So you want to make sure that your Ortho 4XP overlays are above your Ortho 4XP scenery. The other thing you want to do is you want to make sure that any airports you have loaded are over top of the overlays for Ortho 4XP. Okay, so for example, there's a graphic coming up on the screen, and so your scenery is built in layers. Okay, so your base layer is your Ortho 4XP. Your secondary layer is going to be your overlays, your roads and such, and then on top of that, you want your airports. You want your airports to override everything. So that way the exclusion zone and everything stays just smashed below the airport, so on and so forth. So if you think of it like that as the layers that you have, then you could see here that airports up top, overlays, any custom overlays or meshes, then your Ortho 4XP is going to be on the bottom. All right, that is how. And you should only have to do this once for your Ortho 4XP overlays, because if you don't, you're gonna have issues. Okay, so typically when you can't see roads, this is why here. All right, so now I'm going to say that I will take some time and show you the difference between stock scenery versus Ortho 4XP added to the mix. So let me go ahead and set up a simulator and I'll bring you guys in. Alright, we're back in the simulator. Okay, so this is basically AutoGen stock out of the box, what X-Plane is going to look like. This is over Puerto Rico. I don't know why I'm getting some twitching on some of these overlays and such. It could be that I have two overlays stuck on top of each other and just make everything twitch. Could be. But this is basically FSX out of the box. You know, it still looks really good, guys. I mean, it really does. You know, but this is what it's going to look like if you don't put photoreal scenery in. So, yeah. Not that it's going to look terrible, but that is the way that it's going to look. And now what we're going to do is we are going to set it up where we've got the real world scenery placed in there and see what we get. Be right back. Alright folks, we're back in the simulator and this is the Ortho 4XP real world scenery being applied on top of the overlay. I think I had two overlays stacked on each other, which is why the AutoGen was kind of giving me that twitch. Funny thing is that my simulator is actually performing better with the Ortho 4XP than it was with the AutoGen scenery. But it could have been a variety of different things. But anyways, this is what the real world scenery brings you. Okay, it's going to enhance the way it looks, you know, and from the air it looks pretty good. And so if you don't have any AutoGen buildings on top of there, you can kind of see the real world scenery there by the beach and the actual buildings, and they kind of have some good dimension to them. And so you've got the different buildings there, and sometimes you see a little bit of like white haze or whatever, and there's the other airfield there. I believe that's a Coast Guard station. Kind of see a couple ships there. But yeah, you can kind of see the different depth to it. So combined with the AutoGen, you know, it's pretty good. But yeah, you kind of see there, you know, that the Ortho 4XP provides a little bit of realism to the simulator that wasn't necessarily achieved before. You know, it's just one way to kind of enhance it. I'd say that for the most part, Ortho 4XP is going to be better suited towards maybe like out in less populated areas. But still, it's not terrible. I mean, you can kind of take a look through here and see that, you know, even at zoom level 17, you do get the kind of like a real world aspect look at things. So it's not, in my opinion, terrible. And it's a great way to enhance your flying experience. So I hope you guys were entertained today with the tutorial and kind of taking a quick flight through. If you have any questions, or if I did not explain something thoroughly enough, please drop me a comment in the link below, and I will take a look at it and see what I can't do to help you guys out. Now we're going to do some goofing off here. Let's read some interstate signs. Laurelville. Can I land on the road? There we go. Look at that. We are on the road. Let's see if I can't just... That's pretty cool. Not even going to lie. Excuse me, cars. That's kind of hilarious. I'm not even... That's pretty funny. So if you were expecting the interstate signs to be exact, I-10 is not in Puerto Rico. So Robin's Hood is not that direction. All right. Thanks, folks. We'll see you next time.